The year is 1998 and Namco releases Soul Calibur to arcades. But that's not the version I played initially. I played the 1999 Dreamcast port, and amazing game aside, I never would have imagined the music would have impacted me the way it did. Composed by Junichi Nakatsuru, Yoshihito Yano, and Akitaka Toyama, this OST, consisting of mostly orchestral arrangements, lots of heavy-hitting brass, robust strings, booming percussion, both standard and ethnocentric, and even hints of choir chants here and there, would totally envelop me, while I so desperately tried to convince myself I knew what I was doing going through arcade mode. Of course, Soul Calibur wasn't the first fighting game to have a somewhat non-conventional sounding OST, but the general epicness captured by the composers here is remarkable, to say the least, and it truly fits into the overall theme, or rather overall themes conveyed by the game. Even from the announcer, welcome to the stage of history and things of that nature. Shoot, even the title screen. Just that alone, just Soul Calibur, that type of thing. So the composers did a great job essentially rounding off the package musically, putting it all together. The good. Honestly, practically everything. From the intro tracks, such as Light and Darkness, the startup, to the new legend, I can hear my little brother spamming Helix moves all over again, to Sail Over the Storm, to my all-time favorite track on this soundtrack, In the Name of Father. The music here just so perfectly captures not only the levels they're played on, but even more so the characters they represent, not to mention they're so well titled to boot. Believe me, I could be here gushing for ages over this OST, but ain't nobody got time for that. The bad. Excuse me, the what? Okay, let's see. Besides my overall skill level at the game, I honestly have nothing bad to say concerning the soundtrack. Call me biased, but there you have it. Okay, the album cover kinda sucks, and so does the disc work, but the only bad I can say, and this is something that can apply to any soundtrack, is, well, if you don't like orchestral arrangements, well, yeah, you're pretty much screwed, as there's no drum and bass or rock and roll or, techno, etc, etc. Yeah, it's all that kind of music, so yes, unless you're a fan of the more classical sounding, orchestral, baroque period, whatever you may call it, none of that's here, so that's the only bad I'd say. I guess it doesn't branch into other genres, but ultimately it does accomplish what it sets out to do pretty well. So in closing, despite being 20 years old now, it's truly amazing just how well this OST is aged. So while everyone was busy Y2K prepping, no disrespect to those who seriously had to, I was too busy being in awe of Soul Calibur and all it had to offer. So apparently there's this amazing character creation software going around with a fighting game attached, and that's Soul Calibur 6. Now, of course, one would wonder why not just review that soundtrack instead, but I haven't heard it yet. But the few tracks I did hear, I realized many of them still use, not many, but the few I heard were remakes of some Soul Calibur music. So I figured why not go back to the first one and give that a listen and make a little review out of it. So hopefully in the future I will review Soul Calibur 6's soundtrack upon hearing the full thing. So everyone take care and see you next review.